This is how we do it. This is how we do it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, cops and robbers, and so on of the internet. This is Devin with Gaming in Progress, and today we're going to do something I haven't done in a little while. That's right, today is another GamerGate video. As you guys can tell by looking at the channel, or if you remember the last video I did, it's been quite a while since I've talked on the channel about GamerGate. I've kind of fallen behind news-wise as a bit of late, and I think there hasn't been as much to talk about. So that's why I haven't really made any videos lately on the subject. But I found something recently that I felt needed to be talked about, and this is actually through the Ralph retort, and it's talking about how the lead singer of Disturbed, or the frontman of Disturbed, David Draiman, I think is how you say his name, who, as you know, has been a supporter of GamerGate in the past, as sure as there was some glitching on that screen right there. He's been a supporter of GamerGate in the past, but apparently he's been trying to effectively blackmail the movement into condemning Trevor Noah, who got hired to replace Jon Stewart on The Daily Show. Apparently, several years ago, I don't remember, I don't know exactly how many, I'd have to look, but apparently he made some jokes, some questionable jokes about Jewish people and Israel, and apparently that pissed off Draiman, who's just now talking about it for some reason, even though the jokes were made quite some time ago. So apparently he's been effectively trying to tell us as a movement, either be against this guy or I'm going to go over to the other side. And I like Disturbed, don't get me wrong, but if that's your stance, Draiman, bye. We're not anybody's personal army. We never will be. We are a movement that is effectively against censorship, and that's basically what you're calling for right here now, David. Now, don't get me wrong. The jokes were kind of questionable, but still, as a comedian, he has a right to make jokes about whoever he wants, as long as he's doing so equally. And what I say by that is, I believe everybody can be made fun of to a certain extent. If you're white or black or whatever, I don't care. There can be jokes that are told about your race or your religion or whatever that people are gonna find funny, and as long as it's all done evenly, meaning that as long as everybody gets a turn to be made fun of, then that's fine. But even so, even if I don't personally agree with the jokes or the way he told them or how he tells his jokes or whatever, doesn't mean I'm going to sit there and call for this guy's head on the platter or whatever. So yeah, looking at a couple of the jokes he said here, or the couple of the tweets Trevor Noah had posted or whatever that David commented on, or screen capped and made a tweet about, were from 2012. So it seems a little late there, David, to have a bitch fit about this shit now. So he says, in one of his tweets, David says, "So hashtag GamerGate. What's the deal? Do I owe Anita Sarkeesian and the hashtag SJWs for an apology, since so many of you seem to support anti-Semitism?" And it's like, yeah. And this, and then Aigal Takpanik replies to David. He says, I'm sorry, David, but I was trying to tell you this. GamerGate is toxic. Like BDS, I see no difference. And that tweet was favored by Randy Harper, and David replies, I'm beginning to realize that in all caps. So you can tell that he's angry. Because if you're on the internet, you gotta put everything in all caps so that people can tell you're angry. Because, you know, there's not like an exclamation point or anything on the internet to emphasize, anger or emotion or whatever. No, you gotta put everything in all caps, you know. So anyway, a GamerGate user by the name of Pokshup hashtag 422 replies to David, goes and says, but did you threaten at David at David Draiman but did you threaten David Draiman? You are ordering us and doing the same as the SJWs have done. Accused us of hatred of a group. He said, and David replies, I'm promising, not threatening, that I'll become a fierce enemy of any supporter of anti-Semitism, pro-GamerGate or not. Well, if that's what you're saying, then why earlier, let's see, that was at 11:02, why at 6:37, did you say, do I owe Anita Sarkeesian and the SJWs an apology? Well, if you're saying that you will stand against anyone who's an anti-Semite, why would you owe those people an apology? So anyway, let's see, a couple other things he says here. Just looking through the tweets, kind of right now that Ralph posted in his article, which I will have a link in the description for you guys, by the way. And sorry if I'm a little stupid right now. I haven't eaten anything all day. I haven't been hungry, and now I'm really hungry, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm making this video. Okay, so let's see. Otherwise, carry on. Nothing like one artist trying to put down another. And then David posts a photo of some things that Trevor said. He's like, I don't view these as art. Well, that's you have a right to you have a right to disagree with somebody, but that doesn't mean calling for the head. So anyway, let's see, and then his last, oh, this was, okay, so it's going a little bit back and forth here in tweets. His next one that Ralph has linked is over 150 plus quote-unquote hashtag GamerGate supporters of anti-Semitism via free speech blocked today. Language used won't repeat. How very tragic. Aww. Boo fucking who. People, I'm gonna tell you right now, David, people are going to reject you, for the simple fact that you're trying to basically use us as a personal army to shut this guy down, and that's not gonna happen. We're not anybody's personal army, like I said earlier, and we have, I mean, people, and if we really had an issue with jokes, that this guy made, we probably would have stood up and said something for ourselves by now without you trying to demand that we rally around you against Noah. And as a very diverse group of people, the fact that most of us have rejected your little demands should tell you that overall we're not really offended. I'm sure there's a couple of people out there who didn't really care for his, who maybe were offended by his jokes, and most people probably didn't even really care for them because they were a little bit in bad taste. But that doesn't mean we're going to tell this guy he can't express himself freely. And going a little bit ahead here, I'd like to thank Ralph for putting all these tweets in. It's kind of helped me. One thing, one user said, Chris, he says, I like David Draiman, but not enough to pretend that Trevor Noah's jokes make him anti-Semitic. And, you know, I agree with that, because just because you joke about something doesn't mean that you're against that. It's like if I were to joke about, I don't know, if I were to joke about, make a joke about homosexuality or whatever, that doesn't mean I'm anti-homosexuality or whatever. I could really care less either way about that. If you are, that's cool. If you aren't, that's fine. That's fine too. My uncle is actually gay, and that's fine. He's still a really cool person, regardless, and that's awesome. But just because you joke, the point I'm trying to make here is just because you joke about something does not mean you're against whatever that is. Be it Judaism or Israel or homosexuality or whatever. And just another point that that the tweet below it brought up by Rogue Illuminatus. Whether or not you agree with Draiman, had he not tried to force GamerGate to act by threatening to go against us, there wouldn't be a problem. And that's right. You don't have to disagree with you don't have to agree or disagree with everything anybody says. But trying to force us to do this is what really caused an issue with us and him. And I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. Keep in mind, though, that all of this was done on April 1st, so it might be a little bit of a stretch, but given given the video Queenie did like early before, like she posted a video saying she's not pro GamerGate, never was, and that the Illuminati forced her to make videos on the internet about it and shit. She posted it like very, very early April 1st, so much in fact that it wasn't even April 1st in the United States when she had posted it. But keep that in mind that all these tweets from David were done on April 1st, so it could just be an elaborate his threats, at least, against his demands to GamerGate could be part of a prank. However, I've been looking at a couple other articles, and it doesn't really seem to be that way, because of a couple of the other things he said. And I'd have to agree with Ralph that I'm not sure if it's time to completely cut off ties with Draiman. But I mean, if he wants to go to the other side, bye. There's the door. Because you're not going to threaten us and demand that we become your personal army. That's not our purpose here. If you want a personal army, I'd go look at your regular fan base. They might be able to help you more than that than we are, because we're not here to be anybody's personal army. We're just here for artistic freedom and ethics and kind of the fight off the SJW bullshit. So I'm looking at a different article here, and a couple things he said. The article says, and asked how it could be that a public figure like Noah could spout anti-Semitic rhetoric to the world. Draiman responded, I think that anti-Semitism has become fashionable. I think it's become a lot acceptable in a lot of people's eyes. If that doesn't sound like a fucking professional victim, I don't know what fucking does. It's almost as if Anita Sarkeesian wrote that line for him. Because that's what it fucking sounds like. No! Just because somebody makes a joke does not make them an anti-Semite. It doesn't mean anti-Semitism is fashionable. It's not like a fucking blue and white or whatever fucking color that dress was. It's just a joke. That's all it fucking is. He's not calling for a second Holocaust, or he's not calling for Jewish people to be put in labor camps or killed or gassed or whatever. He's not calling for any of that. He's making a goddamn joke. So calm the fuck down and get your goddamn head out of your ass. Seriously. You know, I mean, I like Disturbed, and I'm probably still gonna like their music, but you're disappointing, David. You act like you come off as such this badass, and you got all these fucking, you got the earrings and the facial whatever and shit, but you're not. You're being a fucking pussy right now. That's what it is. You're being a goddamn pussy. So get your fucking shit together. So anyway, once we get an update, I'm gonna wait a couple days, see what else pops up, because again, this was on April 1st, that all this shit really went down. it's been happening for a while. Looking at this article, this other article that wasn't made by. Oh no. Well, let's see. Yeah, because they were talking about jokes that Noah made from 2012 to 2014. So anyway, just kind of wrapping things up here. The best thing I can say to other people who are part of GamerGate, don't let this guy dictate to you, and I think nobody will. Don't let him don't let him turn you into part of his personal army. Whether you're a fan of his, or not, he's just being stupid here, and hopefully he'll get over this shit, because he's just being an idiot right now. Granted, he has granted, I mean, the jokes are in poor taste, but overall, he's just being stupid. Anyway, so that about does it for this video. If you guys are new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down and let me know what you guys think I could do better. If you have any comments, leave them down below. I'm very good at reading every comment on every video we get, probably because I'm kind of small right now, so it's rather easy. But anyway, hope you guys have a good weekend, good Easter, and for those of you who are in school, enjoy your time off. This is Devin with Gaming in Progress, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! This is Devin with Gaming in Progress, and today I received some disturbing news. It would seem a YouTuber by the name of Varello recently had his channel suspended due to several of his videos receiving numerous flags on them for inappropriate thumbnails or misleading content, for the reason that people claimed to flag the videos for. Now, these flags all happened within a short amount of time, and were on only a couple of his videos. Now, I've seen pretty much all the videos on his channel, and I can say without a doubt that these flags were in fact false. Which basically means that the same thing that happened to Joe recently at the Laughter of Growth